everybody, welcome back to Spirit-Filled USA. We're down here in the bourbon basement in beautiful Morgantown, West Virginia. Zach, tell the good folk what we're getting into today.
Oh, classic Old Forester, purple top. This is the 2026 batch number 3.
Batch number 3. Let's get into it.
All right, friends, welcome back to Spirit-Filled USA, the bourbon podcast that's not a podcast. No, not at all. But we are bringing to you a little review of Old Forester's 1924. This is the creme de la creme of the Whiskey Row series, right? It's technically Whiskey Row series, so these are all homages to different pieces on the bourbon timeline. 1924 was a year, obviously, during Prohibition, and this was a year when a few distilleries were granted medicinal licenses to distribute bourbon.
Did what they had to do.
Old Forester, the predecessor to Old Forester, was one of those. So that's the homage to the year that this is. Now, this has been around for 3 years.
Yep.
So 2024 was the first batch.
Which was the 100th anniversary, right, of...
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Of a particular event of one of their
Yeah,
folks doing
right.
like a mixture of mash bills and that kind of thing. So
It's all making sense.
Yeah. And so the Old Row, the Whiskey Row series are all readily available. But this one is a special release, okay? And the first year, I feel like I heard, Second year last year, I heard like,
Okay.
But I really liked last year.
Yeah.
Justin, I think you really liked last year.
I loved last year.
It was like brownie batter to me. Like it had really, really nice notes on it. So I'm anxious to see this year because I've only read a couple things because this is pretty newly out. I think they just released this at the distillery like early March. It hasn't been out very long.
So
We're recording this in mid to late. We're in late March now. Oh my gosh, we're in late March.
time flies.
Anyway, so this is pretty new this year. It usually comes out in spring.
Yeah.
And here we are. So we're going to dive into batch 3 here. But what do you love about Old Forester? One of the many old bourbon labels out there. It's a legendary one, right?
It is. I mean,
It's a staple.
I think that's like, it's a staple because it kind of speaks for itself. If you have an Old Forester bottle, like, it's going to be solid. It's going to be solid. I've never had anything from them I didn't like. Even their, like, base, like, bottom shelf, not bottom shelf, but next to bottom shelf, like, 86 proof bottles, you know, things that you kind of maybe reach for if you're doing a cocktail, that kind of thing. Those are still great meat to me.
They cover the gamut.
Yeah.
I really enjoy their the Old Statesman.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
That's the one with the more transparent label, isn't it? Yeah.
The Old Statesman and of course the blue label single barrels, the black label.
The black label
black
single
label
barrels are where
100.
it's at, I think. I mean, the blue labels can be really fantastic, but I like the 100 proof.
Yeah.
Black label the best. But honestly, like I think the best thing is their green label barrel proof rye.
Yeah.
I know that might not be up your alley, but I really love those.
I had not had one of those, but Zach talked me into getting one that we had ran across in the wild in Kentucky last year, and it's great. Thank you for doing that. At least I did want to say too, like just to call, if we're calling out things that we love about Old Forester, the bottle that sold me for Old Foresters, they're 1910s. They're double oaked.
Yeah, I like the 1910s.
That's so good.
That's
so
my
good.
favorite, probably out of the regular.
Yeah.
That 4 Whiskey Row series. I do not care for the 1857.
Oh, really?
Don't like that one, but you know.
Teach their own.
I'm just laughing because it's pretty prominent. So this one utilizes, as part of the blend, right, a different mash bill than Old Forester usually does. This has a 79-11-10,
Okay.
I think it is. And usually they're like 71 and something else.
So it's a little lower on the rye than this for this.
Yeah. 71, like 18, and then what, 11? Something like
that,
that.
I
Yeah,
think.
so there's a little bit difference between the corn and the rye content
I have so
from
much
what they
trouble
normally kick out.
memorizing mash bills.
This smells like chocolate again. Doesn't it?
It's
It's
chocolate.
got that brownie batter nose again.
It's chocolate, but I'm getting like dark berry too.
Yeah, it's got a blackberry.
Yeah, blackberry was exactly where my brain was going.
Yeah, it definitely does. Oh, I have high hopes on the nose. This is... there's a nice little tobacco-iness coming through on it now, too.
Okay. I could see
Or
that.
more like a pipe tobacco.
I was just going to say like pipe or maybe cigar tobacco.
Yeah, it's
you know?
different than just like a regular tobacco-y kind of note. Oh, I'm excited for this. 100 proof. It shouldn't be too hard. Ooh, initial thoughts. Ooh, that's got a little spice.
It's got a nice pop to it.
Yeah.
Like it hits, it's a little sweet, and then
Sits with you a bit.
Yeah. I that tends to do that sometimes, though. Oaky stuff on the first sip. It has some bite, and then it really calms down. Especially, we just opened this bottle, you know.
right.
A little bit of time goes a long way with this.
So at least for me, like corn sweetness up front for sure. Corn sweetness, oaks there. Trying to see if I'm catching any fruits or anything like that.
Oh, I'm getting a banana.
Banana.
A
Okay.
little banana on it. Which is a typical Old Forester note. This is a little more familiar Old Forester to me rather from the other
Sure.
batches of this.
Sure.
But in a good way. Like the first thing that came to my mind was dark chocolate banana and like caramel corn. Like a combination of those things. I'm getting more caramel corn
Now, was
as I'm sipping on it.
this mash bill, was the malted barley higher?
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you getting
same.
malty notes?
Yeah, a little like chocolate maltiness.
Yeah.
Just a touch of it.
Well, 10 is a little bit higher than some normally do anyway.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
So 10% on the malted barley is on the higher than average. Higher than your average bear. Man, I like this though. The sweet oak is moving out on it too, I feel like.
Oh man, it's pleasant.
Yeah,
Start to finish. It's not too far in any one direction. It's not extreme. It's not polarizing. I feel like this is quite approachable too.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's got like a little, what is that? Is that like a little apple pear note in the middle?
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. This has a lot going on. I'm a fan of this. I can see why people are high on this.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, if I was a raccoon, I'd dumpster dive for this bottle. But we got to quantify.
Old trash panda.
Yeah. So let's give it a wafer score here. Let's give it the old ranking system here. Let's start on the nose, because I feel like the nose might be strong. I'm getting more like a bright berry, like the bright dark berries, like blueberry, blackberry on it now.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of that. Who wants to start on the nose? Should I start?
Do it.
You looking at me?
Yeah, you already talked.
Could give it a 4 on the nose, because I really like it. I think the nose is a strong suit on this one. It's pretty fantastic. Berry, like a little corny note, but like a lot of like almost a dark chocolate, like tobacco-y note. It's great. It's such a good news.
I'm gonna have to agree with you for most of the same reasons. 4 on the nose for me as well. It just presents so nicely. I get blackberry. I get the sweet corn that you're talking about. Like there's some of the dusty oak in there too. Maybe a little bit of rickhouse, that kind of thing. And then tobacco, but not like regular tobacco that you would expect from a whiskey. But like we mentioned, like maybe a pipe tobacco, maybe even a cigar tobacco, that type of thing. I don't smoke, but like I know the sense, you know. Man, it's covering a lot of bases, and it just smells so nice. I want an air freshener of
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, Old Forester. That's a gift shop idea.
I don't know how they'll do that, but
So I think
Is there an air register insert? Can we get air filters that are soaked in the
Yeah.
224?
I think we're at 4s across the board here.
Yeah.
It's
It's a standout
it is.
on
It's
the nose.
honestly, it might be the high point for me on this.
Yeah, I'm not going to
nose.
disagree with you. I don't remember other batches being this great on the nose.
yeah.
So palate, where do you want to go on the palate?
I mean, just a step down, 3.5 on the palate for me. I'm getting sort of that dustiness, a little bit of malted chocolate, and then there's just something on the on sort of the back end of the palate that it's just I'm not enjoying it.
You're confounded.
Okay.
I'm confused by what it is, but it's still good. It's still it reminds me of like what a good straight bourbon should be.
Yeah, it's classic. I am also going to go with 3.5, an enthusiastic 3.5, because I don't feel like it's quite as stand out on the palate as it is on the nose. So that's the only reason for docking it. But it's got fruit layers. It's got like the classic sweet like caramel corn kind of flavor. It's got like some deep, rich, chocolatey stuff that I really like. So yeah, 3.5 easily.
I'm gonna stick with a 3.5 as well. It's great. Like you said, it's familiar. It's like what you would expect from a really solid, just bourbon off of Kentucky Row there or Whiskey Row in Louisville. It's got your friendly, familiar flavors. Excuse me. The pear that you mentioned, I couldn't get it out of my head. It's quite good. I will say that I mean it's been a while since I've had it, but I think I prefer the palate on last.
I think so too. I think so too.
On the batch last year.
How about on the finish?
Does your
think?
Does what you're getting, Ryan, at the end of the palate extend into the
It
finish?
does a little bit. So I mean, I'm even a little less forward on the palate here, and probably giving it a 3. On the finish, probably a 3 on the finish. I mean, it's not lasting to me, but still, it's an enjoyable pour. It's not bad by any means, but probably a 3.
Okay. The more I sip it, the more I like the finish. I was leaning towards going just a touch lower, but it's hanging on with like a fruit, nutmeg, cinnamony kind of thing. I'm gonna stick at 3.5.
Okay.
On the finish. It's a really good finish for 100 proof. That's probably what knocked me to a 3.5. Because considering the proof.
That's a fair point. Even, 100 proof isn't necessarily super high, but it's not super low either. It's, kind of in the middle range, I guess, for folks that aren't wanting anything that's going to be barrel proof screamers and, hazmats and that sort of thing. For me, this is where I wish we had quarter scores. I'm gonna pull Ryan. I'm kind of there in between 3 and 3.5.
Okay.
If I had to pick one, I feel like I might go 3 on the finish.
Okay.
Just because I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the flavors in the palate. It does stick around for a bit, but I feel like what sticks around is maybe towards like the spices that you'll expect, but also a little bit of tannins and acidity, that kind of thing.
Man, I really messed this up. The spirit was really leading us in tandem for all the scores until
Nearly.
I screwed up the finish. But all in all, where are we going to go for the overall on this bottle? Now, this is an MSRP of about $130 this year, okay. $120, $130. I think they started out at $110 a couple years ago, so that it's been around that the whole time. So, it's creeping into higher range bottle territory. So, considering that, listen, this is medicine.
It is. It's medicine.
Best medicinal whiskey I've ever had.
Got to get a prescription for it.
Where we're going to put it overall, considering the price point. My first inclination is still like a 3.5 because it's in the middle of our score.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I think it's just worth that. I'm not going to pay more than that.
Yep.
But I wouldn't go any. There's probably a little bump on secondary. I know some shops will bump this to like $180, $200. That ain't it.
I feel like the newer MSRP is starting to creep into where it's hitting its ceiling, if you will. But I think I'd agree with you on it fitting into a 3.5. Like, if you're into something that's a little fancier, a little higher end from a brand like Old Forester, 1924 is hard to beat.
Yeah. I think it's in that category where I will put some effort in to find one. Mm-hmm. But if I'm only going to buy a second one if it falls into my lap and happen to see one for the price it should be, I might be inclined to get it, but I'm not going to go wild to get it after tasting it. Right?
Sure.
I don't know. That's where I'm at on it. What do you think?
Same, 3.5. The sort of the mouthfeel, the viscosity saves it for me for still being a 3.5. yeah, I'm probably not going to pay secondary for this bottle, but Zach was lucky enough to find a few near retail. Yeah, if you see it out, pick it up. Especially, I mean, if you're an Old Forester fan and you have all of the Whiskey Row series except for this, you got to get it. I mean, it's just
complete the collection,
right? You got to complete it, but
yeah. So this is like, I'm gonna make a English soccer analogy here. You know?
Okay, you're gonna.
This isn't like at the top of the Premier League like Arsenal are, but it's in the it's in a Champions League spot. It's in the top 20%. You know,
it's the Ted Lasso
it's the
team?
upper tier of the league.
Okay.
You know, it's there.
I know a little bit, mostly because I listen to the Hank and John podcast.
It's not where Tottenham are this year. That's our rivals.
Oh,
they're at the bottom of the league.
we're learning some things today.
Anyway, we digress. It's a great bottle. 3.5. There you have it.
3.5. Okay, folks, that's going to do it for us here at Spirit-Filled USA for the Old Forester 1924, the 2026 Batch 3. 3.5. 3.5 across the board.
It's a winner
for the overall.
It's a winner. Not disappointed in it.
Solid 3.5. Pick it up if you see it out at MSRP.
Yeah, we're happy to put Old Forester on the map with this review.
Little known distillery.
What would they do without us?
Well, what would we do without you? We appreciate you tuning in for another episode of Spirit-Filled USA. And until we gather again,
We'll be with you in spirit.
cheers.